Hey there, Seahawks. It's Miss Adams, and in this video, we're going to learn how to experiment well. All right, in the experiment, we should be using random assignment, which means that the treatments are assigned to experimental units, or experimental units are assigned to treatments using a chance process. Replication is the idea that we should use enough subjects to create equivalent groups. All right, so we want to have enough subjects that we are doing this more than once, seeing more results than just one time. Sources of variability. One reason to keep other variables the same for each subject is to prevent confounding, making it easier to determine if one treatment is more effective than another. The second reason is to reduce the variability in the response variable, making it easier to determine if one treatment is more effective than another. Well-designed experiments should have control, which involves making the experiment as similar as possible for experimental units in each treatment condition. Randomization refers to the practice of using a chance method to assign experimental units to treatments. And replication. The more experimental units in each treatment condition, the lower the variability the dependent measures. All right, an example of random assignment methods. In Ms. Tierney's class, 30 students volunteer to participate in an experiment to determine if chewing mint gum during a test will increase their scores on the test. Ms. Tierney will provide mint gum for half the students, while the other half will not chew gum. The same test will be given to every student. Describe how you would randomly assign students to each treatment. So using identical slips of paper, on 15 slips of paper, we could write the letter A on 15 and write B on the other 15, and then shuffle the slips of paper and hand out one slip to each volunteer. Students who get A will chew gum during the test, and students who get B will not chew gum during the test. Using a random number generator, we could label each student with a unique integer from 1 to 30, then randomly generate 15 different integers from 1 to 30, so we're not having any repeats. The students assigned the selected numbers will chew gum for the test. The remaining students will not. All right, other sources of variability. You may have heard Botox is used for cosmetic surgery, but could it have other beneficial uses? 31 patients who suffer from chronic low back pain were randomly assigned to receive 200 units of either Botox or saline through 5 injections at 5 different locations in their backs. The saline injection was not expected to reduce pain, but it was given as a placebo treatment. After 8 weeks, 10 of the 15 Botox patients had pain relief compared to 3 of the 16 saline patients. Why was it important to measure each patient 8 weeks after treatment? All right, so if patients were measured at differing times, the researcher wouldn't know if the type of injection or the time was the cause for the change in back pain. Why was it important to give each patient the same dosage of Botox or saline? So if patients could choose the dosage, the number of patients who had pain relief might be much more variable than it would be otherwise, making it harder to tell if it was the type of injection that made the difference. All right, the purpose of random assignment. Can watching fast-paced cartoons reduce the mental function of children? 60 4-year-old children were randomly divided into 3 groups. One group was shown a fast-paced cartoon, one group was shown an educational cartoon, and one group was given art supplies and instructed to draw pictures. All of the children spent 9 minutes watching the cartoons or drawing. Afterwards, the 4-year-old who watched the fast-paced cartoon scored significantly worse than the other 2 on 4 different tests that measured brain function. Explain the purpose of random assignment in the context of this experiment. So the purpose of random assignment is to avoid confounding by creating 3 groups of 4-year-olds that were roughly equivalent at the beginning of the experiment. All right, go Seahawks.